every one of you has good reason to be critical of me. I want to say to each of you, simply and directly,
I mean, I feel sex is for somebody that accomplished, and you have to reach a pinnacle for sex. You have to work up something has to be accomplished in order. I always look at that as something as a reward. You know what I mean? I don't look at sex as you just have sex out of the blue.
I wasn't thinking of that.
But I was.
In the world of celebrities, private moments are often thrust into the public eye, whether by paparazzi or accidental leaks. Some stars have been caught in compromising situations, making love and their intimate encounters quickly become headline news. However, some believe that these intimate moments reflect deeper struggles with the celebrity's inappropriate obsession. These stars, often battling personal demons, find their private lives exposed when their behavior crosses boundaries. Jada Pinkett Smith opened up about her struggles with compulsivity in an episode of her Facebook Watch series, Red Table Talk. She shared that during her younger years, she developed what she described as a binge mentality, not just with intimacy, but in other areas of her life as well. There were periods where her behavior became obsessive, and intimacy became a way to numb her emotions and distract herself from things she didn't want to face.
Thing to do with me. So I was like, okay, so she's just scrolling, and when I tell you I saw some of the most hardcore pornography on Tumblr.
It wasn't, Mom. It really wasn't.
It was hard.
It
Listen,
really wasn't.
It was
She's
hardcore for
overreacting.
you to be seeing at freaking 11 years old.
Tumblr,
I could not believe that.
No,
I was
Tumblr
like,
is more of the
kids.
artistic aspect of it, though.
Not what I saw. Well, nothing artistic about that. I saw some hardcore
I don't remember
stuff.
what you saw, but
Yeah,
what
well,
I know
remember graphically.
What I
was
know
like,
about Tumblr.
I was like, Willow, and she was like, don't even pay attention to it. We're getting to my page. I was like, I can't believe kids are exposed to this on a daily basis. I was profoundly disturbed.
But the thing that I will say, though, is that because I had you and Daddy to actually like have real conversations with, that stuff didn't really affect me because I knew I had a connection with people that I could talk to about it and knew like what the reality of.
As she matured, she realized this pattern was unhealthy and made the decision to change. Jada confronted the emotional wounds that had led to her compulsive behavior and worked hard to regain control over her life. Her journey to recovery was challenging, but she took control by understanding the emotional triggers behind her obsession, ultimately coming out stronger.
Sort of addictions jump. They jump around. When I was young, I definitely think I had a sex addiction of some kind. Yes, that everything could be fixed by sex.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or
It's the behavior.
It's the behavior that's attached to it. Because if you want to have a lot of sex, that's great. But why are you having all that sex? That's what you gotta like.
Will Chamberlain, the towering basket legend, became known not only for his dominance on the court, but also for his controversial claims of it in his 1991 memoir, A View from Above. He revealed he had been with 200 women 19 and above during his performance. And a fun fact, the president's window man and the average was 20 seconds, at which point 4 women a day for nearly 40 years. While Wilt never explicitly labeled himself obsessed with intimacy, his behavior raised questions about the deeper psychological aspects behind his actions. The constant pursuit of women became an integral part of his identity, and many have speculated that this behavior may have been an attempt to fill a void, despite Wilt's reluctance to label it as an obsession.
Did you know Wilt Chamberlain slept with over 20,000 women, and one of them was a famous filmmaker's mother? Despite being a lifelong bachelor, Wilt had short romantic relationships with many women. He hated to reduce them to mere numbers, preferring to describe them as beautiful numbers in his book. But how did he keep track of his encounters? One of his friends spilled the beans, mentioning a 10-day stint at Wilt's Honolulu penthouse, witnessing him with 23 women. Wilt calculated his remarkable tally by referencing 2.3 women per day. having it and subtracting the first 15 years of his life, adding up the women from age 15 to the time of his book, he reached a staggering number of 20,000. Famous filmmaker Quentin Tarantino once revealed that his mother dated Wilt, saying, "She's one of the 1,000. Crazy."
This NBA legend claimed that he slept with over 20,000 women. So we investigated the rumor to find out the truth. He went by the nickname Big Dipper, which is very suiting in this case. Wilt Chamberlain was a real-life god on the basketball court, and the rumors surrounding his life back it up. But in 1991, when he made the claim that he slept with over 20,000 women, many were skeptical. A close childhood friend of his, Tom Fitzhugh, said he never even recalled Chamberlain going on a date when they were growing up. Fitzhugh said that Chamberlain left high school a virgin, so we can assume that he started his sexual conquest at the age of 18, which means he had to have slept with at least 1.5 women every day for the next 37 years. Now, even a godly creature like Wilt would need a day off here and there. And some other close friends described Wilt's love for multiple women at one time. They even claimed that Chamberlain allegedly slept with 23 different women on a 10-day trip. And the crazy part is, when Wilt was asked about it, he said, "I'm not boasting. I don't see all the lovemaking as any kind
Jennifer Lewis, in her memoir, The Mother of Black Hollywood, revealed that she faced significant personal struggles, including undiagnosed bipolar disorder. She admitted using intimacy as a means of escaping the emotional turmoil caused by her untreated issues.
Polar, and I was in darkness for a long time. So now that I've come into my own, having been in therapy and taking medication, I live a pretty good life. I'm level, and I'm grateful they've got something out there to help me. And too often, mental illness is taboo in our community. You have to be patient for your levels. Okay. That's the most important part. You know, you'll get on some medication, you'll be like, "Oh, this is horrible. I got dry mouth. Ooh, my sexual desire went away." Okay, so lessen that milligram, but don't not take care of yourself. I'm not pushing any given or specific drug. You know, I think we got too much of that out in the world anyway. You know, help yourself. But if you really need it, it's like high blood pressure. It's like, you know, cancer. Take care of yourself.
During her time in the theater world, Jennifer became a powerful figure, both on stage and off. Often seeking solace in the arms of men, she later recognized that this was a symptom of a deeper issue and sought therapy, which eventually led to her managing her bipolar disorder with medication. Her story highlights how compulsivity can intertwine with challenge as well.
Well, I am the mother of Black Hollywood. I played everybody's mama. Tina Turner, Tupac, Kadeem Hardison, Taraji P. Henson, you know, Gabrielle Union. It just goes
Whitney
on.
Houston?
Yeah, Whitney Houston. It goes on and on and on. When you come into people's living rooms, you become part of the family. And because I was the mother, I was made to feel more special. I'm just grateful to be able to represent the middle-aged African-American woman, because we are a mighty powerful people.
Nicole openly spoke about her struggles with compulsivity, describing it as a consuming need that controlled her life. On an appearance on The Joy Behar Show, she shared one of her lowest moments, where her entire day revolved around self-pleasure, leaving her exhausted at her lowest point. The obsession even led her to neglect Baz needs such as eating. Although recovery has been an ongoing battle, Nicole has worked tirelessly to avoid the triggers that fueled her obsession. She remains committed to her recovery, using her experience to shed light on the issue.
What did your addiction get, Nicole? I understand that you were into masturbation a lot. But that's
Right.
Isn't that from anxiety, all that masturbating? It's from anxiety.
Well, it's a way of managing feelings.
You know what? I really try hard not to think about masturbating too much. I had a moment there where I really could not get out of bed one day because it was a constant thing, and that was an exhausting day. It was like I didn't even want to eat food because that was my food for the day. It was exhausting, and it was scary because it consumed my entire day, and I try very hard to not have any triggers around, around me where I would feel like I need to masturbate today, because I'm fearful of not getting out of bed.
Lamar Odom The former NBA player and ex-husband of Khloe Kardashian publicly addressed his struggles with compulsivity in his 2019 memoir, Darkness to Light. He confessed that he had been with more than 2,000 women, cheating on Khloe multiple times during their marriage. For Lamar, intimacy and substances were intertwined with one, obsession fueling the other. This destructive cycle nearly cost him his marriage and his life after hitting rock bottom. Lamar sought help, focusing on overcoming both his compulsivity and substance misuse. His story of recovery is one of redemption, showing that it is possible to heal and rebuild one's life with effort and support.
Might bounce it and it don't really come up the same, so I'll have to really work and perfect and hone my craft before I even decide to step out there again.
Well, you talked about your book. You ended up putting out your memoir. And the one thing that kind of stuck out in that book was that you claimed that you slept with over 2,000 women.
That was, I never really counted, but probably had to be something up there. I think about the ones, I don't even remember their name. God bless them.
I feel you. Well, Will Chamberlain, claimed he slept with 20,000, which is 10 times.
Yeah, that's like 20.
If he was here, he would say, Lamar ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, he would definitely say that. Because I'm definitely a lightweight to him. But I think about the places I live.
Tiger Woods, the renowned golfer, became the subject of scandal in 2009 when it was revealed that he had been involved in numerous affairs, leading to the collapse of his marriage to Ellen Negron. While some viewed his actions as the result of fame and opportunity, the extent of his infidelities led many to question whether Woods was battling compulsivity, although he never publicly confirmed this. He checked himself into a rehabilitation center for compulsivity and acknowledging the impact it had on his personal and professional life. Woods has since worked to rebuild his career and personal life, but the shadow of his past continues to affect his legacy.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in. I know people want to find out how I could be so selfish and so foolish. People want to know how I could have done these things to my wife, Elin, and to my children. And while I have always tried to be a private person, there are some things I want to say. Elin and I have started the process of discussing the damage caused by my behavior. As Elin pointed out,
Kanye West has been open about his struggles with compulsivity, which he says began when he was just 5 years old, after discovering a Playboy magazine left by his father. He described how this early exposure planted the seeds for a lifelong struggle with illicit films and urges over the years. This obsession deeply affected many aspects of his life.
Kanye West has a porn addiction. I'm Dr. Rena Malik, a board-certified urologist, and I'm going to break down exactly what a porn addiction is and why it happens. We as humans are programmed to want sex, and sex releases a chemical messenger in our brains called dopamine, and dopamine is a very feel-good hormone. When someone watches pornography, their brain releases dopamine. In people who are predisposed to having this addiction, it upregulates pathways in the brain so that you start then craving pornography, and it changes the circuitry in your brain. Then people develop the characteristic signs of addiction: impulsivity, the constant urge to watch pornography; compulsivity, the need to do it repeatedly and over again; weakened executive function, meaning that you can't do the things that you normally do because your brain's not thinking clearly. And then you get desensitized, meaning that you need new and novel types of pornography to get the same level of dopamine, and the things that you used to do with your partner are no longer enjoyable. And lastly, you get dysphoria, meaning that you just feel unhappy and unsatisfied with things in your life. If you find that you're struggling with these issues, make sure you go and seek professional help to help you overcome this addiction and go back to living a normal and healthy.
Eric Benet, known for his smooth R&B hits, struggled with compulsivity, which was a contributing factor in the collapse of his marriage to Highberry. Eric later admitted to having cheated on H multiple times, and after their divorce in 2005, he sought help by checking into a 35-day rehabilitation program for compulsivity. His personal struggles and his willingness to seek help highlight the challenges of dealing with obsession and the importance of seeking support for recovery.